Hello, Beauty News family! Welcome to this week's episode of Beauty News Updates.
And we're doing some serious updating this week because, not sure if you noticed, but last week's episode we filmed it a little bit earlier than normal, so we kind of missed out the big explosion of the Anastasia Beverly Hills subculture stuff, so we're going to be talking about that.
Because it only had kind of come out within the last 12 hours of us,
exactly right.
Like, just before we filmed that episode. So it was kind of like, well, let's reserve judgment because
there's only been like one person that's come out to say that it's bad.
Exactly.
But let's address the elephant in the room.
Yes,
I'm wearing purple lipstick.
She's a weirdo. I don't know anyone who wears purple lipstick these days.
Yeah.
She's an oddball.
Mm-hmm. No, the elephant in the room is Conehead here.
No, it's you. You've got them too.
I got sympathy bandages on.
She does. So I had my ears pinned back on Monday.
Yeah.
And I get my bandages off on Monday.
Yeah.
So in next Friday's episode,
hopefully no bandages.
You will see no bandages.
But that does explain, why we filmed a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
But also, can everyone just give Hayley some love? Like, we're actually filming while she's got bandages on her head.
I know. My ears hurt. Like it's legit.
Dedication to the cause.
Yeah.
I'm just doing this just to be one of the cool kids.
I love how people get in the comment section. They're like, these bitches! And I'm like, fuck you, cunts.
Yeah.
We do this because we love it.
Yeah.
And I think this just goes to show that that's true.
Yeah.
So
we film beauty news while we're on holidays. We film beauty news after you've just had surgery.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
And then people are like, you get so defensive in the comments. And I'm like, yeah, because this is our passion project, cunt.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right.
So, yeah. But we do want to start by talking about subculture palette. So there's a lot.
There's a lot.
There's a lot going on. Yeah. So if you've been living under a rock, just to catch you up, basically what's happening is subculture palettes are being delivered to people and people are discovering some pretty serious issues with them. Mm-hmm. The issues include things like the eyeshadows being so powdery that hitting pan is pretty much doable in under a minute by just gently rubbing your brush in it.
And we know that because we did a makeup breakup just before this that will be up on Wednesday. So we did test these kind of theories out a little bit.
Yes. Yeah. Also, some of the metallic shades are like you just touch your brush to them and they seal and you can't pick them up. Blending issues, adhering issues, so the shade's not like actually sticking to the skin, and also issues with the colours oxidizing and changing on the face.
And when they blend together, often it almost... I think of it as almost like, you know, if you accidentally put a permanent marker on a whiteboard and then you get a whiteboard marker to pick it up?
Yes.
The shadows almost do that. So you can put one down and blend it out, but then sometimes you can put the other one on top and it actually takes it off.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of issues with the palette and like there's only a few people that are coming out to say good things about it.
Yeah.
Now we're both wearing it on our eyes today and we've got some nice looks, but you do have to be super, super careful about how you use this. So if you pick up the smallest amount, you can create a nice look, but there's limitations to what you can do.
I totally agree.
And there's techniques that you can apply it well and apply it badly. And I personally find the sealed pans a lot more annoying than the powdery pans because the sealed pans you can't pick up with a brush at all.
Yeah.
And they're almost useless shades. There's two light shimmery shades that do that. But there are theories that different batches are better than others.
Yeah.
So there are mixed reviews on the internet, and I think this is where you have to be really discerning because this is what really annoys me. So there are some people that are saying great things about it because they were sent it from Anastasia Beverly Hills. Now, not all those people have had great palettes, but once again, we said you can make it work.
Yeah.
But I think people are saying better things about it often because they don't want to upset the PR. Mm-hmm. Then there are people that are making it out to be even worse than it is to get the whole honest review, you know, finally, you know, exposed, you know, all that kind of annoying shit. So it's hard figuring out for yourself if it's actually a good palette or not because there are inconsistencies across palettes and also people that are using it as clickbait or people that are using it to kiss ass with PR. So it's very, very hard. We can tell you, and if you look at the Makeup Breakup episode on Wednesday, you'll be able to see some of the big faults.
Yeah.
But we have both been able to create decent looks with it. You just have to learn how to use it and be really careful.
The first time I used the palette, I was like, oh God, this piece of shit.
Yeah.
And then today when I used it, I looked at the issues that I had with it the first time and I was like, okay, what's the solution?
Yeah.
And it's fine. Like, you can make it work. It's absolutely not perfect.
Yeah.
It has major faults.
Yeah.
And also,
faults.
I haven't experienced that, like, one shade taking away another shade.
Yeah,
so if that's what
either.
people are experiencing, like, I totally don't devalue that. I think, you know, that's a major issue. But I found I can make it work, and I'm sure other people will too. I think the issue with a lot of the videos that I watched about the palette showing these faults was that they were first impressions videos, or they...
That's true. It's very true.
Or they were videos that were being made after they'd used the palette and had a bad experience with it, so they were recreating a bad experience. Yeah. Whereas today, when I used it, I was like, all right, I've got to get my shit together because I have to use this palette. I want to, like, I need to work out how to make it work. And I managed to do that. Yeah. And I think these people who are making these videos, they can do that. They're not fucking idiots. Yeah. They've got skill.
And that's where I look at people like X-Sparkage. I go...
Yeah.
Really?
I know.
You claim to do tutorials and be like a self-taught, sort of, not makeup artist, but sort of makeup guru, I guess. And you are making some hideous looks. And I have to say, like, I've worn this palette twice.
Yeah. The first time I wasn't impressed.
No. I fucked it up big time the first time.
I had too much pigment, and when you try and blend it out, because they do kind of stick, it just, like, it blends across your face. Like, there's so much pigmentation.
It's so pigmented.
But I'm like, if you know that the shadows are so pigmented and so powdery, and when you try and blend out those edges, like... do something different. Yeah. Don't recreate a problem.
Yeah, and that's what I did. Like, the first time I used it, I put teal on I literally ran teal all along the lower lash line. Yeah. And then when I went to blend it out, I'm like, whoa, this is like blending really far down. Yeah. So today, what I did was I put a lighter shade on the lower lash line, and then I used a darker shade just in the outer corner, and I blended it slowly across. And it's fine. But if you can't work with it and you hate it, they are accepting returns.
Refunds, yeah.
But I'm going to say, you have to actually ship your palette back to Anastasia
And I am not doing that because then you have to pay for shipping to return it.
Yeah, you've paid for shipping to receive it, and then you've got to pay for shipping to return it.
Something I want to say that annoyed me about all of these honest review, like, okay, I get it, clickbait. Like, using those fucking terms, I get it. Not one single fucking person said, okay, had a shit experience, look at this crap, this is how I would normally use a palette, and look at how, like, they blend badly and this and that. Not one of them has then come up and said, okay, so I actually, like, use the palette knowing its faults and learn how to use it. Yeah. Here's some tips on how to get the most out of your palette.
And the thing is, though,
it's all just like, this is shit.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's like, clickbait. It's let's show the most disgusting photos to get as many views as possible. And I understand why they're doing it. Like, YouTube's a fucking hard gig, but it's not honest. And I don't care how much you're saying it's honest. Like, my look that I created when I first used it, I'm like, whoa, that's bad.
I thought so too.
I was on the verge of taking it all off and doing it again, but I kind of, like, fucked around with it and tried to fix it. Yeah. But today, I really like the look I created, and I created it quite easily. So, now the thing with this palette is, a lot of them are going to be returned, which is fair enough. And if you live in the US and the shipping, like, to return it isn't that expensive, I can understand why people return it. But since they were on the fence about making this permanent or limited edition, a lot of people are saying, and I have actually told people in our groups, like, it's now available on Beauty Bay and this and that, They're like, oh, should I order it? And I said, wait to see if they fix the faults. Yeah. Because the faults, there's a lot of them.
It's problematic, though, because they're going to have
I reckon they're just going to scrap it.
Yeah, I honestly think they will as well. Yeah. The issue with, like, Norvina has said that she's going to press the palettes more firmly. And that's great, but it's not like you're going to return your palette, she's going to repress it and send it back to you free of charge. Like, any palettes that are currently out there
have all the faults.
They're potentially faulty.
Yeah.
They're just going to become landfill over time.
Yeah.
And if they do make more palettes, we won't see them for about 2.5 to 3 months.
If not longer, though, because they'll have to be retesting them. And if you look at...
that is correct.
Yeah, but if you look at Too Faced bringing back the Sweet Peach palette, how long did it take them? 6 months to get another batch in?
It took a long time.
So I think this will take a long time.
Yeah.
And I think they might look at it and go, it's got such a tarnished name that we're going to scrap it. The fact they didn't announce that it had been... Like, she came out to say it will be permanent based on the fact that it sold out and sold so many units that they were going to make it permanent, but they can so easily go back on that and just say, too hard basket, scrap it. And I think that's what they might do. Also, I want to point out...
It's going to cost them a fucking fortune.
It will.
Fortune.
It will. But no different to Jaclyn Hill collabing with Makeup Geek and then pulling out and them having to waste all their money on those palettes.
True.
Like, this shit happens.
Oh, but surely they could have repackaged those shades.
I know, I agree.
Yeah.
But, so, also I want to say that
I love how everyone blames Jaclyn for that. Like, you're a fucking... Get the pitchfork out.
That's their fault for not having a good contract.
I know.
But can I just say that we've been playing with the palette, and I'm going to say that the problem is not only the pressing. So even if they repress it differently, there's a multitude of problems with this palette.
Absolutely.
So
yes, there is. I agree.
We did play with them and did swish them around and see what the problem was. And there are a lot of really soft pans, but it's not as if there's like 1 or 2 shades that are anomaly. It's like, it's all. Even the... some of the, like one of the metallic shades, you can pick up a lot of product with a brush.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But also when we were repressing a few, because we've just repressed a few shades and we're seeing that if you press it firmer, will it make it better? So we don't know yet because it's still wet. But by the time the video is up, you'll see. The problem with some of the shades as well is that when we were repressing them, they've got very different formulas.
Yeah.
And they were really hard to mix into a soft, kind of like a paste type thing. Yeah. Because they are really, really crumbly. So I think there's more to it than just it wasn't pressed firmly enough.
Yeah, I think so too. I think there is definitely... I mean, people have pointed out the ingredients compared to Modern Renaissance are like day and night.
Yeah.
So we all know that the formula is different. But I don't know what... they were thinking, like whether they were trying to save money, whether they thought it would make for a better formula. I don't know what they were thinking, but honest to God, like it's funny, like I don't really feel bad for Anastasia in this situation or Norvina or like the brand or anyone behind the brand, because when I play with that palette on my own face and when we played with it in the Makeup Breakup, all I could think was, did nobody actually fucking test this?
I agree.
After the palettes were made, did nobody, like, they would have had fucking sample palettes.
Yep.
Surely they would have used it and gone, okay, this is great, this is shit, fix this, don't fix that, like, whatever.
Yeah.
Now, if they actually tested that and then sent off to the factory and said, okay, make 3 million of them. Wouldn't have been that many, but you know.
Close.
They would have used the same specs to make those palettes. And surely they would have still tested those palettes that came out of the factory. And if they didn't, and the palettes were not actually pressed to the specification, or if they weren't made to the specification of the test palettes, then that falls on the factory.
Yeah.
And if I was Norvina, I'd be like, fucking factory fucked up.
She should have, true, but they should have tested as well.
They still should have tested it.
But I think what the problem here is that they looked at the Modern Renaissance, which is a very pigmented, very blendable and powdery palette, and they thought, let's just ramp this up.
Yeah.
More pigmentation.
More powderiness.
More powderiness. And the problem is that there is such a thing as too much pigmentation.
And too much powderiness.
Absolutely. It's no longer... Like, I feel like the Modern Renaissance was at the maximum of pigmentation and powderiness before it gets too hard to use.
Absolutely.
Because
I totally agree.
if something's too pigmented, you can put it on and it can't blend it out, or you put on too much... You can't, like, it's harder to work with. Yeah. And this, I think they've just gone, let's make the Modern Renaissance, but amp it up.
Yeah.
And it just didn't work.
Yeah.
And they didn't have the insight into seeing that. I think also a few people will say that because it was leaked that they had to rush production to get it out.
No,
but I
that's
don't
not
agree
an
with-
excuse.
Yeah, but the reason why I don't think that's an excuse is because it was leaked when they sent it to the stores.
Exactly.
And that
which
would have been
means
that
it's-
it was already made.
Exactly.
It was already made and just about to go onto the shelves.
This wasn't someone from a factory or like
No.
doing the dirty in fucking
the lab or something.
Yeah, like
no, this was after the
This
fact.
is when shit is being sent to stores to be shown to employees. Like
Yeah.
this is when stuff's ready to go out. So
Yeah.
I have no sympathy for this situation because I feel like if this palette was tested, then whoever was on that testing board,
they should be fine.
I don't.
But can I also say
honestly,
that they released 30 lipsticks that day and 4 liquid highlighters, and there are problems with everything they released.
Yeah.
So-
Tell them about your lipstick.
So my lipsticks, okay, so the formula itself isn't too bad. I had an issue. I might put some footage on the screen where I took a photo. I was taking a photo for Instagram, and then I put the lids on the wrong tubes. And you would think that the packaging is all universal and the lids can go on any. No. One got jammed on. Like I had to like pry it, or it was ridiculous. Like it was so firm on, and then the other one was really loose and kept falling off. So the packaging for the lipsticks are faulty. And also the liquid highlighters are getting bad reviews, like fail reviews on Temptalia. So I think what they did was they bit off more than they could chew. They were like, let's release 30 new lipstick formulas, like lipsticks in a new formula.
Yeah.
Let's release liquid highlighters that we've never done and a palette on the same day. And they just didn't test enough of it or dot their I's and cross their T's, because every single product that they released had some flaw.
Yeah. And it's interesting, isn't it? Like Anastasia, they can almost do no wrong.
I was about to say the same thing.
And,
Yet this is a big fall from grace.
And this has just been a massive push off the pedestal.
Yeah,
like
it has.
fucking
Because
massive.
we have said multiple times that it seems like whatever they bring out, they nail.
Yeah,
Except for this whole release.
It's
which
bad.
was a huge release.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
So, yeah, not too sure what's going to happen with this. Norvina has come out to be like, we're going to repress. We can get a balance between... And this made me go, girl, what the fuck are you doing? She said that... let me find it. Let me actually find it. Okay, so she said, to minimize fallout with Subculture, we'll press every matte shade harder. I don't want to jeopardize pigment load, but a balance is possible. Don't fucking worry about fallout. The reason people are getting fallout is because they are so powdery. Like, fallout is not an issue. We can deal with that. It's hitting pan on a fucking shade after you've dipped into it a few times. Like, that's the issue. And this is why I sit here and I go,
did you test it?
Bitch, please. What were you doing? Like, who was testing this?
Yeah.
Because what did you... After using that palette, you cannot sit there and tell me that this palette was tested extensively, because if anyone picked up a fucking synthetic or natural hair blending brush and tried to blend one of those darker shades into their crease, as you would with any other eyeshadow that is on the fucking market, you would know that they are too pigmented, they grab strangely, they're hard to blend, and you can go from 0 to, oh my god, my whole face is covered in dark teal.
Yeah, exactly.
That is how excessively pigmented they are.
Yeah.
And the formula is just not right. So I hate that she's like, oh, it's all right.
We can strike a balance. No,
No,
you can't. You got to
balance-
scrap it and start again.
It's fucked.
And no one's addressing the fact that those 2 shimmery shades seal, and you can't use them.
They're
unusable.
They don't need to be that weird, creamy, like... It's
oily
like,
formula.
It's like silicone, oil, and loose pigment.
Yeah. No,
Don't.
it's horrible.
I said to Kat before, we've had 2 palettes this month. No, not this month, but last month and this month that we have played with and destroyed, right? the Jacqueline Morphe palette.
Which hasn't gone up yet.
No, but it will. And the Anastasia Subculture palette. Both palettes have had claims that they're like reinventing the wheel.
Yeah.
They broke the fucking wheel.
Yeah.
You can't even use the wheel.
Yeah, so they've actually tried to take their formula and improve it, but by doing that, they've actually generally made it a lot worse. The Jacqueline palette, the mattes are better than other ones.
Yeah,
anyway,
look, the Jacqueline palette, it has its faults here and there, but it's not, like, it's usable. It's usable. But it's just, people are trying to do different things.
Yeah.
But they're not doing them well.
No.
And I feel like you should never have done it at all. That Subculture palette, like, that's done. Damage is done.
Yeah.
It really is. And the next palette that they release, people will be like,
yeah, don't trust
you know
it.
what? I'm not going to buy that until I've seen like 100 reviews because
or until I can
can't
swatch
be
it in
trusted.
store. Can
Exactly.
you imagine the Subculture palette in store?
Oh!
It
Someone
will-
on your pan on that day one.
Yeah, they're like swatch. Oh, fuck,
Oh,
fuck. I broke it. Anyway, let's move on. We've been talking about that for like 20 minutes.
Too much.
So
too much Subculture.
All right, just a quick update for a release for Australia. We've got a little information sheet thing.
She's going to read off it.
Yeah.
And if you hear something that you don't like, don't shoot the messenger.
So this is the Bobbi Brown. It is the Instant Full Cover Concealer. It's now released in Australia, so it would have been out yesterday. $52 for a concealer and 15 shades. Yeah, currently available, and I'm gonna say we've got one each, but we haven't actually used it yet.
No,
it's really
so dry.
Like
it's like thick, and
it's thick, and
it's almost like a pot concealer in a tube. Yeah.
So you get very little out at any one time. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Mega like coverage though. Yeah. So anyway, if you wanted one of those, they're out. But I'm swatch them. I'm curious what people think about it.
Yes. And thank you to Bobbi Brown for sending that to us.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Now we're on to D's. All right. Update for the Desi Perkins Lustrelux collab that they were saying they've been working on for, a couple of years. It's now come out that it's with Dose of Colours.
Yeah.
Now, I must admit, this looks like a better collection than that Mint for You collection.
I would agree.
But, okay, so there's quite a few things going on here. It's releasing, was it the 14th of August?
Yes.
There's 2 highlighter shades. They're going to be $28 each. There's 1 eyeshadow palette, 2 liquid matte lipsticks. Okay, so the eyeshadow palette's $28. Liquid matte lipsticks, $18 each. Classic lipsticks, there's 2 of them, $16 each. And a lip gloss, that is $15. All right, so it looks like the liquid lipsticks, there's like a really, really, really dark colour. You would like that.
I love that colour, but I hate Dose of Colours.
Yeah, I agree.
I really hate their formula. It's so like, ugh.
Yeah, I agree.
Like crusty lips.
They also have like a bright orange toned red. Beautiful I would have liked that if it wasn't for the formula. There is a lip gloss, like a sparkly gold lip gloss that you can put over the top of other things. 2 nude shades, so more creamer please and no shade. They look the fucking same.
They do look the same.
Oh my god. But it must be a nude for each of them, I
Yeah,
would say.
I'd say so. Makes sense.
Yeah, 2 highlighters that once again look pretty similar. One looks slightly more pink and one looks slightly more yellow. And then there's an eyeshadow quad. The shades in the quad look quite nice.
Yeah, they're fine.
They're just basic, but they're all shimmery. So, there you go.
Dose of Colours Mint for You collection. Oh, I'm so excited. We've just got some more like boring ass swatches.
And it's available.
Honestly, it's like a pink, black, nude.
Boring.
Mint.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand that collection at all.
I prefer the collab.
Yeah.
More than that.
We've got some sort of more close-up photos of the Estee Lauder Victoria Beckham, the second collection. So I think
it's a third collection.
Oh, maybe it is actually. Yeah. So we've got the quad. We've got.
Well, can we go through this in a different way?
Yes.
Just to make it a little bit more. There's 5 collections that are being released.
Right.
There is the Los Angeles look, the New York look, the Miami look, the London look, and the Paris look.
Yeah. All right. So the products include a skin perfecting powder, a morning aura illuminating cream, aura gloss in honey, eye ink mascara in Blackest, matte lipsticks in Victoria, Burnished Rose and Black Cassis, a cheek cream in Blonde Mink. Oh dear. I wonder if that's a free range mink from a zoo.
Yes.
Eyeshadow palette, smudgy matte eyeliner, eye matte duos, eye foils in Burnt Anise and Blonde Gold, lip glosses in Fired Crystal, Desert Heat, that's it, two lip glosses, bronzer in Java Sun, highlighter in Modern Mercury, eye medals in Bitter Clove, eye kajal duo in saffron, black saffron and vanille. Yeah. A lip pencil in Victoria, bronzer in Saffron Sun, and eye metals in Blonde Gold. I feel like we said that several times. I think they're just, yeah, there was Blonde Mink. Oh, eye foils in, okay, so, all right. So there's eye foils and eye metals. Oh dear.
I also want to point out that you know, we're talking about that big metal thing?
Yeah.
It is like an illuminating primer.
Okay.
So I think that's the Morning Aura illuminating cream. So it's a primer.
Right.
But yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming out. I think because it was a pretty popular collection, that now they're just assaulting us with heaps of products. And they are grouping them in ways that it's like, oh, if you want a certain look, you can use this sort of combination. But they all haven't been shown properly yet.
Yeah. Fair enough. All right. Eyelure and Fleur DeForce, they did a collaboration, I think it was late last year. They brought out like a group of brow products and they are adding to that collection with brow pencils. They're brow define pencils. 3 shades and it's just like they're brow pencils.
Cool.
Long lasting with coconut oil to condition brows.
Great.
Out on the 7th of August and they'll be available in Boots UK.
Cool. Oh, we've got an update with Fenty Beauty.
This brand, I can't wait for it to just...
they love talking about the release date.
I'm so
else.
like... I already hate this brand and I don't even know what they're releasing.
Yeah.
Like, go away. You're annoying.
Yeah, but it's coming out 8th of September. In Sephora. Who gives a shit? All right.
Oh my God, it'll be available globally.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah.
Probably not on that date though, unless you can get it from the website directly.
Maybe. Yeah.
Then we got an update with the Huda Beauty. We spoke about her discontinuing the rose golden palette or what the fuck it was called, gold, whatever it was. Discontinuing that one and bringing out a new one. So we've seen some photos. So this looks like the palette here. This looks like the actual palette. And then she's also shown holding a palette. And this looks like it's probably the box that it comes in. Unless she's releasing 2 palettes. But this is the Desert Dusk palette and it's coming out on the 18th of September.
There you go.
What's next, Hayley?
More Huda Beauty stuff. Her foundations.
Yep.
So we've got the Faux Filter foundations. She's also releasing a Complexion Perfection primer and a brush. So the primer's going to be $35, the foundation $40, and the brush $25. Coming to the website, her website, and Sephora worldwide in October, apparently.
30 shades.
30 shades, yeah.
Can I just say this mug shot of her, the before and after, doesn't look great. I can see her pores and it's a pixelated picture.
I know. I thought that too when I saw it. I was like, well,
like
I won't be buying it.
It's got decent coverage, but it's got a bit of a glow, which is fine.
It's not for me. It's not for me.
Great.
And also, I can already tell just by looking at that photo, there is not enough coverage for your girl.
She likes her coverage.
I do. It's not enough.
Not enough. Boo.
So I'm not spending $40 on it.
No.
We did talk about the It Cosmetics collection. They're dropping like 52 new products and we've got some more stuff that's become apparent. There's a Bye Bye Redness powder. Now, we actually talked about this one and it looked really, really olive.
Yeah.
And here it looks a little bit more normal. So we're not going to know until we actually see what it looks like.
Yeah.
But we also have prices there. So they've got the Only One Perfect Lighting Radiant Touch Magic Wand, $29. Confidence in a Cleanser, $28. Why does that sound familiar? Confidence in a Cleanser. I feel it.
Yeah. I don't know, but it sounds like it's something that's been brought out.
But yeah, it does. We've got that superhero brush that everyone wants. $29. Oily... Wait. Bye Redness Skin Relief Treatment Moisturiser, $48. They've got like Airbrush Perfecting CC Powder Compacts.
Yeah.
Fucking stuff. The Bye Breakout Foundation, $28.
Yeah.
And the Bye Lines Foundation, $38. So, you know.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
Brow
also
powder.
brow powders. Yeah. Bye Breakout powder, $28. Mm-hmm. It's just it's
stuff.
shit. And look, there's more. There's more there.
There's more stuff on the screen.
It's just
another release that IT Cosmetics have just finally shown, because we saw some like silhouette images and rubbish, but this is their secret sauce. Clinically advanced, miraculous anti-aging moisturiser.
Oh God, get fucked.
I know. So yeah, they just fucking.
Oh my God,
secret sauce.
It's absurd. Read it.
Secret sauce.
The skin-loving, powerfully potent secret lies in the 7 penetration-enhancing fermented ingredients that work to increase absorbency and maximize the ultra hydrating, anti-aging benefits of secret sauce. Yeah. You know what that is? That's bullshit. Yeah. Okay?
Yeah. It's developed with plastic surgeons. But plastic surgeons...
surgeons, they cut skin.
Yeah, they don't.
They're
not chemists.
Yeah, exactly. They don't, oh my God.
Anyway, if you want an anti-aging... Look, IT Cosmetics and anti-aging aren't bad. Like, they do some decent anti-aging... Or products designed for aging skin.
Yes.
So you'd think that if they were bringing out and hyping up a moisturiser, it better be a good one.
But this is what annoys me about it. They make it sound like they're doing something amazing and it's going to change your life. It's not going to change your fucking life.
It's a moisturiser.
Right? If you have aged skin and it's already as hydrated as it's going to get, that's not going to make it any better.
Don't listen to the 7 fermented
Exactly.
ingredients.
If you have like aging skin and you're not getting enough hydration... Of course that's going to make your skin feel better. But don't fall for the bullshit.
Yeah.
Only buy it if you are genuinely interested in trying it.
I'm just hoping that with all those claims, they're not using it to justify a really high price tag. They probably will. But anyway, photos on the screen and stuff and things. All right, let's go on to the collab with Jeffree Star and Jouer. Mm-hmm. I do want to point out that a lot of people on Friday's episode was saying, because we said that Jeffree Star's he's talked about a collab with something else happening, and I think we're talking about dates or whatever it was, and people are like, duh, it's with Jouer. We've known about that one for months and months and months and months, and we've had packaging for a while. Now we've got more information. It's a different one from that. So there's many collabs going on.
This Jouer collab, were we talking about this last year? Or at the start of this year? At the
start of the year, I think we spoke about it.
This photo, I'm sure, is from January or something.
Yeah, from ages ago. So long ago.
We know.
Yeah.
We've been doing this for a while.
Yeah. So there's just more photos about a photo shoot that's happening for it. So we're going to see it eventuating very soon. But then there's another collab that's happening with Jeffree Star. And whether that is... we think it's more with his brand, not with him collaborating with another brand, his brand collaborating with either a brand or a person.
Yes.
So, different.
That's
different.
Different. And we do think the Jouer thing, we do believe it is going to be a lip product and proceeds actually go to a charity.
Good.
Can't remember which one. Kylie's birthday collection, it's out. I don't know if it'll be sold out by the time you see this, but...
It would be. It
probably.
Was on the 1st of August. Okay. So, yeah.
Anyway, prices on the screen if you're interested.
Moving on.
We talked about this ages ago. Balmain and L'Oreal bringing out a lipstick collection.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And we're starting to see some shades. So we've got a purple shade and a green shade. We won't get these in Australia, which is a shame.
Yeah.
These look like they could be really nice, but yeah, I'm sure there'll be a lot more coming. So,
oh well, what can you do?
Makeup Monsters Cosmetics. They said they were releasing hair dyes, and it's getting closer. They're coming late fall.
Big tub, unless it's a child's hand.
Maybe, maybe. No, it is a huge tub. But yeah, that'll be interesting to see. And last week we didn't get, we forgot to talk about it. Makeup Revolution, they're bringing out a highlighter palette called Cool Glow.
Yeah, and it's got like a mint, a grey, peach, pink, purple, yellow, blue. So they're jumping on the coloured highlighter bandwagon, and they've got holographic packaging.
Oh, exciting! We've got some more photos of the Too Faced Peach stuff for people who are interested. There are all of the lipsticks, which lots of nudes, pinks, purples, reds, orange. Like it's there.
Heaps
You like lipstick? Good. Then we've also got their matte foundation.
Yeah, which looks interesting.
Yes. Now, I like that they've got the snow shade. I think that's great. And porcelain, obviously, nice and light. But that one dark shade.
I know. You just look from nude through to sand and you're like, there's not much difference.
Exactly. And even honey and mocha, like they're not that dark. So, yeah, that's...
I thought these had already released. Have they not released? No? Alright, so they're not out yet. August 31st is when they're all coming out. And these are the cream blushes as well. I reckon these look alright. I don't like cream blushes, but I kind of like the shades. I kind of want to destroy them.
I don't hate it. I just... Like, this stuff, it's so strange because every time photos pop up, I'm like, this is old news. Don't post about this. And then I'm like, wait, has it even come out yet?
Yeah.
And it's just like, stop. Stop.
I agree. 100%. Alright, so we've got a photo of the Winky Lux Glimmer Balm that we spoke about a while ago, and we're like, we've looked on their Instagram and there's photos of jackets and balls and shoes and rubbish, but there's no actual lip swatches of the product. Now we can see it's one of those pH responding lipsticks that has glitter in it, and you can barely even see the glitter.
It's just pink with shimmer. Revlon thinks it's a fucking holographic glimmer balm.
Yeah, but Revlon can go eat my fucking dick.
Idiots. Whoever's doing your beauty shit at Revlon,
fire them.
Fire those fucking idiots.
Yeah.
Or give them an ultimatum to learn what fucking holographic is. Because you guys are the worst.
Revlon are bad. They're
the worst.
But this is no different from their those lipsticks with the flowers in it that Winky Lux have. It's going to be the same colour, but it's got a bit of shimmer in it. It's big fucking whoop. They're not reinventing the wheel. Speaking of big fucking whoop, Glossier.
No, you have to be excited about
Wowder! So Glossier have released their Wowder. It's not powder, it's Wowder. No, it's fucking powder. But essentially what this is, it claims to be like a matte, not flat kind of powder.
Which means it's going to have sparkle in it.
No. I think what it is, it doesn't have sparkle in it. It's like a really finely milled powder that's not supposed to make you look powdery.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So it's like a translucent setting powder, but not translucent. Like it's very finely milled. It's supposed to set your makeup. But also not give that powdery white effect, no flashback, etc., etc. So, like, it is just a fucking high definition. Well, it's probably a powder that's not like those white HD powders.
Yeah.
So that's all it fucking is.
Tinted HD powder. I'm sure it's possible.
And I think there's only 6 shades or something. 5 shades, 6 shades.
Not surprised.
No, I was wrong. 3 fucking shades. 3 shades, $35. Glowy matte but not flat finish. So no white chalkiness, no flashback. It's supposed to cut out shine, set makeup and blur the pores. So it just is like a translucent setting powder but with a tint in it.
Yeah.
And you can get 3 shades. Whoop-de-doo. And they don't fucking ship internationally. Get your shit together, Glossier.
I know. Jesus Christ. Don't try and change the fucking makeup revolutionary world. Work out how to ship internationally first.
Yeah.
YSL, their foundations, the new, what are they called? All Hours Foundation.
Oh, that's right. We were saying that we want to test
I want to try these so
Yeah.
badly. I really want to try these. Now, 25 mils, they retail for $58. They are available now on Sephora in the States, and there are 22 shades in total. Not very many dark shades.
There's one dark shade.
Yeah, I know.
It's problematic.
I don't know what these brands are doing. Like, honestly, I don't understand.
Because if you're darker, you're fucked. But if you're slightly lighter than that, you have to buy two and mix them.
It kind of looks that way.
Yeah.
Even like their super, super light shades, I'm like, yeah.
Where are there super,
yeah,
super
exactly.
light shades?
Like, which one?
Yeah.
Look, I don't know. I just...
We'll have to see swatches, but
Yeah.
I'm curious about the formula. This looks interesting, but
Yeah.
I'll wait until it comes to Australia.
Yes. I won't be trying to order any of this shit online.
No. Not with all those hundreds of beige shades.
No.
Too hard.
No. All right, guys. That's it. We're done.
We're done.
I can't do that because it hurts more a little bit.
Oh.
But I'll get there. I'll get there soon. I can do this one.
Poor bandage head Hayley.
It's alright. It's not bad. It hasn't been bad. Recovery's been quite good.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to go before Mikey's battery dies.
Yes.
And he's going to yell at us.
Uh-oh.
So we'll see you guys on Wednesday where we fuck up the Subculture palette.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, guys.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Bye.